Hey everyone, I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but I think I'm going to do this one. This is Cedar Strip Canoe. I got it was partially finished. It has all the strips and stuff glued onto it, and I got it all with the frame and everything. So I'm just going to go over it now and sand it down, and get the fiberglass put on it. And I'm going to walk through the steps of what we're going to do. So just to go over this a little bit before I get started sanding, this is a 15-foot canoe. And it's all been stripped in. And you can see the little pieces, they're all glued together. And I staple onto a frame, which you'll see underneath. It's kind of like a mold. So you just staple them along, you glue them. And after you're done all of that, you pop the staples all out. And then after it's dried, and then you want to sand this all down. And if you can look down the end of the, you'll see that there are little imperfections in it. Not much, but you want to make sure you get most of those out as you can, because when you lay the fiberglass over top of it, it creates a better bond to the wood and it makes it for a stronger canoe. So this is a process I got to go through. I got to go through and sand, make sure everything is good. Maybe some spots you may want to fill in with some wood filler, stuff like this. Just make sure it's all smooth. So, and then what we're going to cover it with is this number 6 cloth here. So it's fairly thin. It's not like the other boat that we did. It's fairly pliable, so it should fit into any imperfections fairly easy. But again, you want to make sure that it's good and smooth so that it takes a good bond, and of course you have a nice hard shell. This canoe here, we're not putting any rib sections in, so therefore you want to have a little bit more support. I went with a number 6. You could go with a number 4, which is a little lighter, but around Nova Scotia we get a lot of rocks and sand and things unknown under the water, so I prefer to have a little stronger shell on this one. So we're going to get to sanding and show you what I've done next. So we've got it all sanded up, pretty good actually. They say once you get it sanded, if you take a wet towel, soak it down pretty good, and then just kind of go over it, takes all the sawdust and imperfections and stuff out, and also kind of gives a little sheen so you can see if you've got everything or missed anything. And also I think it moistens the wood a little bit before we put the fiberglass resin on it. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and stay tuned. And now we got it all wiped down. Just want to give you an idea, see if I can get a little closer in there to see what it looks like up close. So you just got a nice clean transition between the wood. So the cloth will lay in there nice. I think we got it pretty good. Make sure all your holes are filled. Sanded smooth. Looks good. So after we got it all wiped down, we cut the cloth off, rolled it all out, laid it over top, and then just kind of went over, made sure everything was going to fit good. So this looks pretty good. So when we put the resin on top, there's no imperfections or anything that's laying on here, you know. So what I did was I just took my spreader and just kind of went down over a little bit just to kind of get the air pockets and stuff out of it, so it'll make it easier once you put the resin on to get it spread out. So, and then you just want to leave it a little long on the ends, and I want to make sure it's centered down here. It's only 60 inches wide, so it's only got a couple inches left, so I want to make sure it was the same on both sides. And yeah, just make sure you've got nothing in the way. So this is a bit of a messy part, so the videos are going to be a little hard to get here, but anyways, I figured out some math on the premium resin here, and about every half a teaspoon of hardener to 4 ounces of resin. So I did that, of course, in a bigger container. I did a double batch, so you kind of want to go a little bit quicker with it, depending on how much hardener you put in. A little bit more will set up a little quicker. Also depends on your temperature and all that. So anyways, I just started rolling it on here just to get it started, and it seems to be going down pretty good. The matting seemed to have relaxed a little bit after I let it sit for half an hour. So we're just pretty much dabbing a little bit of this, and then just kind of let it roll. Kind of work at the top and work your way down as you progress across the side from one end to the other. And just make sure that when you do it, you've got all the little air bubbles in between the joints all out. That's going to be the tedious part, doing that. So anyways, I'm going to put this phone up and get some of this done, and I'll post another video once I get the majority of it done up here. Alright, so we got most of this pretty well complete. When you start, you really don't want to stop. This thing's cured pretty quick, so I mixed it pretty good, so it's setting up already. So I just wanted to show you on the ends here before I close it in. I kind of started at the top, worked my way down, and then I came back this way to the end, and then as I get to the end here, I just kind of cut about an inch, and then I fold it over each side so it overlaps a little bit, and kind of go all the way down to the bottom. But once I got one end done, then I kind of just start at the top, work your way all the way down, and then just roll off to the side as you go. You don't want to leave any spots where you can bag and get creases and stuff in it, so you just want to kind of even flow across it. It's handy with two people doing it because you can have one on either side, kind of doing each side as you go. But it wasn't too bad. The number 6 cloth is pretty easy to work with. So I'm just going to cut this about an inch, and then I'm just going to fold each side over, and then I'm going to epoxy all the way down and around. So once I get this all done, then I'll put another coat over top, and then I'll show you what we do there. We're just going to take some more epoxy, and then we're going to trowel over top of it just to fill in and get another coat over top of the cloth there. So we'll see what happens then.